welcome everyone to Spitball and Sports on the Let's Talk Sports Network, along with our own network and Facebook and YouTube, X. We're on there. Eventually we get to X. Now Scott, you see Scott's not with me today. He is on his way to Cincinnati to watch the Bills play the Bengals on Sunday Night Football, which will be a lot of fun. I've never been to Cincinnati and would like to go. Hey, Robin.
Hey, so, I would also like to go to Cincinnati.
I don't want to try that spaghetti, though. You said you want to try it. It's that spaghetti with the spinach and then all that
the
cheddar
chili.
cheese. Yeah, and the chili and the cheddar cheese on top.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that. Hey, Chris. Chris is here.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd like that.
I'd give it a try.
We'd have to share it because it's huge.
It is enormous.
I forgot what the name is, like Star something, Starlight. I don't know. It's got a weird name. So anyway, that's where Scott is. We'll talk to him next week to see what the atmosphere was like in Cincinnati for a big Sunday night game. Huge game down there this week. We got Robert Butler from Sports Skope. He'll be with us at about 6:30. But until then, we got some stuff to do. First off, while you're doing what you're doing, Robin, I was going to say a lot of things happened at the trade deadline for the NFL. Probably one of the bigger things was Chase Young to San Francisco for a third-round pick from the Capitals from Washington. Montez Sweat, another one from Washington to Chicago. So it's two defensive ends, two pass rushers for a second. Joshua Dobbs goes to Minnesota for a seventh. He's going to be their quarterback. Leonard Williams was a big one. That kind of didn't get as much. That's a big one from the Giants to Seattle for a second and a fifth in 2025. The guy's good, Leonard Williams. Not a bad one. Here's another big thing. Philadelphia gets Kevin, why can't I say his name? Byard? B-Y-A-R-D. I always get his name wrong. Do you know how to say that? B-Y-A-R-D. I don't know how.
Bayard?
Yeah, it sounds right. For Terrell Edmonds, a fifth and a sixth from Tennessee. That's a good one for Philadelphia, you figure. I mean, that's a Pro Bowler they just got. Rasul Douglas, cornerback, goes to Buffalo, which the Bills needed. They give up a third to Green Bay. Donovan Peoples-Jones to Detroit for a sixth. And Ezra Cleveland, interesting, to Jacksonville. He's a decent offensive lineman for a sixth to Minnesota. So that was I think all the deals, really. There might have been a few other. I think that might be it that was on that day. The Bears, you see, I'm scratching my head still from that one, especially not knowing if Montez Sweat is going to stay. He may not stay. It's a dumpster fire there. It's disgusting. So there's a very good chance that he decides not to stay. It wouldn't shock me if he decides. And he said as such in his press conference. So I don't really know what the Bears are doing. I mean, I understand it, but why give up a second when you could have just tried to sign him in free agency, I guess? So they're going to have this extra time, I guess, is the thought, to get him to stay. And I think it's going to be hard to get him to stay because things are a mess over there. Hey, John. John's with us.
Hey, John.
Things are a mess in Chicago. They have fired a defensive coordinator who got in trouble with the law, FBI. They fired just now the running backs coach for a human resources issue. The place is a mess. I'm not sure Montez Sweat stays. And if he doesn't stay, they gave up a second round pick for nothing. And that is something that someone should be held accountable for, I think. And a few of the other ones, Rasul Douglas was a big deal for Buffalo. I think they needed a corner. They got a corner. I think the Bears were asking too much for Jalen Johnson, and they give up a third to get Rasul Douglas. And I still think Leonard Williams is a big one for Seattle. That guy is awfully good from the Giants, and they give up a second and a fifth. So there's that. That was the trade deadline. Any shocks to you?
I was surprised that Montez Sweat went to Chicago.
Yeah.
Just because I don't see how it makes sense for the Bears with them not having a deal with him.
Right. Yeah. How does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if they are rolling the dice like you couldn't believe with a second round pick.
Right.
Because if he happens to I mean, he said as such. I'm not worrying about my contract now, he said. I want to see what's going on around me. And I know what that means.
Right.
They're a mess. They're a train wreck. And he's got, how bad of a train wreck are they?
Right.
And it's bad.
Yeah.
So maybe what he needs is to know that their coaching staff's going to be fired.
Right.
And then maybe that will help. Jim Harbaugh would be perfect over there. And he would come with his own staff. Obviously, they come with their own staff, but they got to do something. They won't keep him if they keep these same people.
And he would,
They're not keeping him.
And Harbaugh would come. Happily.
Yeah, the ex-Chicago Bear, he'd love it. I think he's always wanted. He wanted to go to Minnesota. Remember?
Right.
The Vikings were. Then they decided to go in the other direction.
Yeah.
So I think you would get him if they want him. But they got to fire who they have. The vote of confidence you keep hearing is unbelievable.
I know,
from polls.
I mean,
but they're a train wreck. They're terrible. So
you got to have some accountability for the vetting of these people.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got rid of some guy who had, I don't know what he had on his computer, but he had something. The defense coordinator. And then another guy doesn't know how to act in the workplace. They said. So I mean, I don't even know what to say. And then you stink. And then on the field, you're terrible. Let's not forget. I think he's 5-21 in his coaching career.
Right,
with the Bears head coach. All right, why don't we do this real quick while we get a chance to before Robert comes on? Let's do it. Right. Just so you know, Robin is sitting in with me tonight. Scott is headed to Cincinnati for the Bills game. So we're going to do our top 5 and bottom 5, Robin.
Yeah.
What do you want to do first? The bottom?
Yeah, let's do the bottom first.
All right. How do we want to do this? All right. I'm number, I'll just give you mine, then you give me yours. Okay. It's easier that way.
Okay.
My number 28 is the Packers. 29 is the Raiders. Raiders are higher for me because they fired everyone. Good for them. 30 is Carolina, 31 is Arizona, 32 is Chicago for all the reasons I just said. What do you have?
All right. I got 28 the Patriots, 29 the Bears, 30 the Cardinals, 31 the Giants, and 32 Carolina.
So you had the Giants in there where I have the Packers. And you have, who else there? Patriots.
Yes.
Where I have Arizona.
Right.
And you don't have Arizona.
No, I have Arizona.
Okay, who is that you don't have? Let's see. I got the Packers, the Raiders. You don't have the Raiders. Okay, so there you go. But yeah, the Raiders probably. I mean, I had them really low because they lost to the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
But they could have jumped out of there just by firing everyone.
Yeah,
they're better, guaranteed. They're going to get a boost.
Yeah,
they will, and they finally are done with Garoppolo, who's a bum. And I've been saying it for a long time. People like to say he wins. I don't know. I think he just takes a lot of money from people and can't finish the season.
Right.
So I wouldn't want him, how can you have him? Unless he's your backup. You really can't.
Right.
In my eyes. Why don't we do the top now? Here, I'll do mine first.
Yes.
All right. I got a tie at number 5 for Jacksonville and San Francisco. Number 4, I have Baltimore. Number 3, I have Detroit. Number 2, I have Kansas City. Number 1, I have the Eagles. The Bills and the Dolphins are on standby. They're close. If the Dolphins win this week, if the Bills win this week, they'll probably jump in here, I'm sure. Big games this week with all these teams playing each other.
Yeah.
Who do you got, Robin?
Number 5, I have Jacksonville.
Okay.
Number 4, I have the Chiefs. Number 3, I have the 49ers. Number 2, I have the Ravens. And number 1, I have the Eagles.
Okay, so I had Detroit, which you didn't.
Right.
And did you have Baltimore? You did.
Yeah, you didn't have Jacksonville.
I had them with, I tied them at 5 with San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
But that's what I did there. And so, okay, we're kind of similar. And there's huge games this week coming up.
Yeah.
That are going to be making it. Hey, there's Scott. Scott just touched down in, he said, enemy territory in Cincinnati. Have a good show. Go Bills. I'm glad you touched down, Scott.
All right, cool. Scott.
I can't wait to hear more about it next week. I want to hear all about what the atmosphere is like. Win or lose, I'm dying to hear the atmosphere. Yeah. And if you're going to have any of that spaghetti with the chili and the cheese on it.
Oh, please have some.
It's Skyline chili.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. Yeah, if you go to that place, Scott, let me know.
Send pictures.
Yeah, we'll see him on his Facebook, I'm sure. Have a good time, Scott.
Oh, I never go on Facebook.
No, I'll show you the pictures. Well, Facebook isn't exact. I mean, we're live on Facebook.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, how dare you?
Sorry, Facebook.
Yeah. All right, do you want to? We got about 20 minutes till Robert from Sports Skope comes on.
Let's pick some games.
John said he likes your picks. He likes your stuff.
Thank you.
All right. First off, last night Pittsburgh wins again.
I know that
one of the. I mean, they're one of the worst 5-3 teams, but they're 5-3, I believe.
Yeah.
Beating Tennessee 20-16. Will Levis played good again. I'm looking forward to asking Robert about him.
Yeah.
What the people in Nashville think.
I can't wait to hear what he says too. But I mean, every game it seems like is 20-16 for Pittsburgh.
Good defense, obviously. I guess.
I mean,
and even that is weird. They didn't even have Fitzpatrick was hurt, and they had Peterson playing in that spot. Patrick, it's just I don't understand what's going on. I don't know how they win.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but they do it.
Because offensively, it's a train wreck. But yet, I heard that they had a good offense. I saw people congratulating Canada, their offensive line, their offensive coordinator last night. So that's interesting. We'll have to ask Bill about that.
Yeah,
my buddy from Puckett, who's a Steeler. He does the Pittsburgh Sports Desk as well. So Sunday at 9 a.m. What a game to have in Germany.
I know.
The Dolphins are at the Chiefs, or not? They're at Germany against the Chiefs, -2. I like the Chiefs.
I do too.
I have a feeling. You know what? Huge game for Miami to win.
Yes,
because they got to get the stigma off of them. That's maybe fair, not fair. I don't know that they can't beat a good team.
Right.
They keep saying, I don't agree. I can't.
I don't agree with that either. But I don't. But
I understand the stigma.
A team as good as Kansas City.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I think they could beat a good team.
Right.
And but could they beat Kansas City good? And there's a couple other ones that rank up there with Kansas City, but
no, Kansas City.
Kansas City, they're proven winners.
So this will be interesting. I just wish the game was not in Germany. That's all.
Yeah. I don't know why this game is in Germany.
Now we have some really good games this week. We just talked about Miami, Kansas City, Seattle at 1:00 at Baltimore. Both teams obviously 6-2, whatever they are. Baltimore's -6 at home against Seattle. Do you have any thoughts of wanting to? I don't. If I played this game,
I'm not real strong on it.
No.
But if I played it, I would go with Baltimore.
And I'd like to and you can do this on DraftKings and stuff. I think I'd buy points.
Yeah, and bring the points.
Bring it down to 3 or 4 or something.
Oh yeah, at 3 I would take it.
I mean 6. Yeah, maybe bring it down to 2.5 even. So
right.
You win by a field goal. It's hard to figure what Seattle's going to be like here.
Right.
I don't know. We saw what happened to Detroit when they went to Baltimore. They got clubbed.
Yeah.
So I mean that could happen.
And that's the thing is Seattle really is good a team as Baltimore. They're both 6-2, but are we talking about the same kind of 6-2? I guess we'll see.
Right. Yeah. No, it'll be a good one. Got some great games this week. So here's a game that's not so great. The Bears at the Saints. The Saints are -8.5. You're going to still have Tyson Badgett playing. Carr will obviously play. You know, the last time the Bears won was 1991 in New Orleans, and Tom Waddle, one of my favorite wide receivers, had a great game.
Wow.
Yep. Tom Waddle, he's very good.
Yeah.
He was kind of like Wes Welker, I guess you'd call him.
Right.
So there you got that going for them. You know, the -8, the 8.5. Oh God, you just don't know what's going to happen with this. The Bears could very easily win.
That's what I'm saying. I would take the points.
Not giving it though. I don't want to give it out.
No,
I don't think they're good. You just don't know what you're going to get with Badgett.
Yeah. I guess you can't guarantee anything with the Bears.
And they don't, Dante Foreman the week before ran wild. Against the Chargers, they didn't use him. Don't understand it.
Right.
It was really pathetic. So you don't know what's going to happen in New Orleans. It could get ugly, because they still have some weapons, obviously, the Saints.
Right.
Offensively, that I don't know if the Bears can handle. All right, so we're going to wash that one. We won't play that.
Okay.
Arizona at Cleveland. Cleveland's -8. Watson in. Arizona's quarterback from University of Houston is Clayton Tune.
Well, you would think that Watson would want to make a statement here. I mean,
the defense is going to make a statement.
Well, yeah, the defense too. But I'm just thinking of him coming back.
Yeah, he's got to play well sometime.
Sooner or later, he's got to prove that he was worth the money.
I don't know if
he
already blew that up when you think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what he'd have to bring him to the Super Bowl. I don't know what else he could do because he really shit out. Think about that, what he did to that whole situation.
Yeah.
My God. I kind of like Cleveland though. To win.
Oh yeah.
Cover.
Okay.
I give that out. I would think
Yeah.
so. Their defense alone should be able to just win that game.
Yeah.
All right, the next one, the Joshua Dobbs Minnesota Vikings are against at Atlanta -4, and Atlanta has turned to, why don't I remember, but they benched Ritter. Jesus, I can't remember who they went
Rippin.
to. No, that's the Rams.
That's the Rams.
Geez, I don't remember who Atlanta's. I don't know if you want to see who Atlanta, but either way, I can't remember who the.
Can't.
You can't?
No, because I'm in the middle of.
Oh, okay. All right. Either way, I don't like the game.
Who did they go to?
And I can't remember the name of it. If anyone out there remembers who Atlanta went to, let me know. I can't recall. I was gonna, and I forgot to write it down. So I just cannot remember who that was they turned to. Either way, whoever they turned to, I don't know if it matters. I don't like the game though. Joshua Dobbs is okay.
He is okay.
I mean,
but
I don't know if I want to.
I see these as two similar teams, and I wouldn't go either. Yeah, I couldn't.
Even with Cousins, I'd have a hard time with this game. So this is just one of those ones.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. Minnesota's in the middle of a wild card race too. They're 4-4, so it's kind of tough with Cousins being knocked out.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Washington at New England. New England's -3. Again, kind of like the Bears a little bit. You don't know what you're going to get with New England.
Right.
You never know what's going to happen. The way they played against Buffalo, they look great. And they play against whomever, I name them and they look terrible.
Right.
I
wouldn't
get. And Washington's not good.
Yeah.
They just gave up. They must feel terrible. The players, they just gave up. Sweat and Young gone. So basically they're right. We're done.
Yeah.
They just gave.
There can't be any morale left to the team, and the defense is going to probably be a mess.
You would think. How do you lose those two guys?
Right.
It'd be okay. I could talk myself into the Patriots here, but I'm not gonna.
I could too.
I'm not gonna do
no.
It. I won't. I'd like to have it. I'd like to have that at 2.5 though, instead of the 3. The chance of them winning would be by a field goal.
Right.
If I
could buy a point.
Yeah, half point.
A half point.
Yeah, that's not a bad thought, but I won't give it. All right, Tampa at Houston. Houston -3. Tampa played good against Buffalo. In Buffalo, they looked good.
They did.
They were all right. I think I like Tampa in this game.
Yeah, I don't like them strongly.
Not enough to give?
No.
All right, we don't have to get it. You know what I didn't do, unfortunately, which I should have done? Can't believe I forgot. Hold on a minute. We are 30. Oh, God. Yeah, well, I'll have to figure this out. We'll give you the update. NFL, 30 wins, 20 losses. College football, 21-9. But I'll give you I'll put the update out there on our record when I put the picks out. I forgot to update it.
Yeah.
We'll update it later.
Yeah.
All right. The next one is the Rams at the Packers. The Packers are -3. Stafford is, I think, going to be out with his thumb, that UCL thing. Brett Rippon is who they go to. Jordan Love. The Packers are 2-6. Another tough. As much as there's good games, there's some really bad ones.
This is a bad one, and I don't
think I can give. So far, we've only given out 2 games. I can't do this one.
No.
I still think. Well, the Packers have a good defense. Packers should probably win without Stafford.
You would think, but
I think
they're kind of garbage.
Yeah, they haven't been good. Love was I think he was but week 1 against the Bears was all it was.
Right.
And then after that, it fell apart. So we'll stay away from that game as well. 4:00 starts a little bit better. There's one really good game in there. You got Indy at Carolina. Carolina is +2.5. I think I want to like Indy in this one.
I like Indy.
I think I do too.
Yeah, I definitely like Indy.
Carolina's still struggling. I mean,
Carolina to me is the worst team.
They're struggling, right? I mean, and he's starting to look a little better though. The quarterback, I've noticed.
Bryce Young,
Yeah, numbers are looking better. He looks like he's getting more used to it. He's starting to look like he did at Alabama a little, where he's getting out of the pocket and he can see.
Yeah,
and maybe they're starting to play to his strengths a little bit, which coaches seem to not be able to do.
Right.
Sometimes, but I think Indy probably wins this game.
Yeah,
Minshew's good enough to win this one.
Yes.
This is his game. It's a game for him, and you got the running backs that are running wild, both of them.
Right.
With Moss and Taylor.
I think Moss is completely healthy now, right?
Yeah, I think they both are. So last week they had an incredible game to both of them.
Right.
All right, at 4:25, the Giants are at Las Vegas. Las Vegas fired everyone. Las Vegas is -1.5. I like them. I think they win, and I think their head coach now is Pierce, the guy who used to play for the Giants.
Oh yeah.
Defensive player Pierce. I'm forgetting his first name, but anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about. He's their head coach. I think they win.
I think
now they're going with AOC. Don't forget, AOC is the quarterback.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll matter. I think they win.
I think so too. I think that just the firing,
yeah,
ups the morale enough that they win this game.
And it's the Giants aren't playing well, anyways.
Right? No, it's not like they're playing some great team.
I think they win at home.
Yeah,
I think there's the fans have been begging Davis to fire him.
Right.
I mean, with the side, they find him out on the street and they're saying it to him. So they finally did. I think you're going to have a fired up team. I think Devontae Adams is happy. Everyone's happy that happened. So they're gone. The big one at 4:25 is Dallas at Philadelphia. Philadelphia's -3.
Ooh.
Boy, oh boy. Right? That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
I personally like the Eagles.
Yeah, I think they probably.
I just think that they've shown that they can take care of business.
Yeah, they're 7-1,
and the Cowboys seem to.
Yeah, this is a game they would kind of have a hard time with.
Yeah,
even if they lose by 7 or something.
Right.
Yeah, I'd have to go with the Eagles in this one.
Yeah, me too.
Love to get it at 2.5 if you can buy a half point down. I hate -3s.
I hate -3s too.
So let's go with the Eagles there in that one. Sunday night, big game, right? Buffalo back at Cincinnati, where Hamlin obviously had what happened to him. This line jumped from Buffalo -1 to Cincinnati -2.
Wow.
I have a feeling that Buffalo may win this game. There is a hell of a lot of. I mean, Cincinnati's just getting kind of together.
Right.
It's a tough one. I'll play this game because it's a Sunday night game for sure.
Sure.
We're gonna play it.
Yeah.
Buffalo and Miami, I always put them together.
Yeah.
Should be better than Cincinnati this year.
Right.
They should be the better teams. That's all I'm gonna say. And I look at it that way.
I think Buffalo wins this game.
I think they haven't played good in 3 weeks.
I know,
and that might not be a bad thing.
Right. I think it's a big game for them. I think you
can't keep dropping games to these guys.
Right. A game
from
that you
playoffs.
Can't just lose.
Remember the playoffs, how bad they were?
Right.
Cincinnati beat them.
Yeah. I like Buffalo.
Yeah, I think I like them too. I gotta go with them. I hope it goes to 3. I'm even happier with it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll buy a point, but
I hope Scott is nice and happy and jumping around in the crowd with his daughter.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
Yeah.
I gotta go to Cincinnati someday. I want to see a baseball game.
I know. I want to go to Great American so bad.
All right, the last one, and I know who I'm picking in this one because it's the Chargers at the Jets. The Jets are +3.5. I like the Jets.
Yeah.
I think the Chargers they will do something to lose.
They have a habit of doing that
all the time. The coach Staley, I can't believe he hasn't been fired yet. I think the Jets will win this game. I think the 3.5 is a nice little bonus just in case.
Yeah.
And I think the Chargers just will do something. They'll do anything to get. I mean, against the Bears, what are we going to do? Is a second string Division II guy, as a quarterback.
Right.
It's a disgrace over there. Everything's all crazy. Guys are getting fired, misconduct, everything. One of the worst organizations that's ever set on the field were the Bears, and the Chargers beat the hell out of them, 30-13 or whatever. I don't know, man. They're going to go to New York, and I think they're going to have. What'll happen? I just could see the turnover. Something dumb.
Yeah,
will happen.
I think the Jets defense is really going to put some pressure on Herbert. That's going to cause turnovers.
I just think that the Chargers just can't. It's a shame, and I blame coaching for it because you got everything you could need.
Right.
To be a playoff team, to be good.
Oh yeah,
beyond a playoff team.
Yeah,
when they choked to Jack. Remember, Jacksonville had a 29-point lead on Jacksonville going into the second half and lost.
Yeah, they find a way to do it every week.
So that's Kansas City -2, Cleveland -8, Indy +2.5. Geez, Indy -2.5, Philly -3, the Raiders -1.5, Buffalo +2, the Jets +3.5. Not bad. I like that. Yeah. I will definitely put these out in case anybody's watching. And then I'll update our record. I think last week, for some reason, I feel like we were 4-4. I feel like we were 500, if I remember correctly. You want to hear my college games before Robert comes on?
Sure.
All right. I got 4 games I like.
All right.
I like Wisconsin -9 over Indiana. Indiana cannot play offense. They're really bad. They don't even play it. I don't even know why they bother.
Right.
Like, it's that bad.
It is.
And Wisconsin's number 24 in defense in the country. So I'm guessing this game will go way under, and Wisconsin wins 12-0. I don't know. But I think Wisconsin covers this game and wins easily against Indiana. I like Iowa State -2 over Kansas. Huge win last week for Kansas over Oklahoma.
Yes.
And I think Iowa State, it just feels like something. And Iowa State's a decent team, as usual. It just feels to me. And this one might be a lot. I like Iowa State to win. They're
okay.
-2 and all against Kansas, but I like Iowa State. I like number 13 LSU +3 at number 8 Alabama. I think LSU wins. I'm going to go out on a limb, kind of.
Yeah.
And say that I think LSU wins this game. I think LSU offense is the best thing on the field. So I kind of like LSU. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's Alabama, but I like LSU. Okay. And I know I'd like to watch this game too. So
yeah,
I'll take the points in LSU and think it's a tight game. But Alabama, of course, is sitting there waiting. If they stay with one loss, there's a really good shot they'll be in the top 4. It's very possible. Yeah, that would mean they will be because they will have beaten Georgia.
Yeah,
so they're in.
Right. If they beat Georgia, then they will.
All right, one more, and then Robert's here. I really, 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 really like number 5 Washington -3 over USC. This is a great game with Penix against Williams and all that, and USC's defense is terrible. So I think Washington wins this game. I do. I think they win it. I think they may win it 48-40.
Yeah.
Or 48-37 or so. I think Washington really number 5. This is a good team. I feel like they're better than Florida State, honestly.
I think they are too.
All right, Robin. You got something left? Before we go?
Never mind.
You sure? What?
I forgot what I was gonna.
All right. Well, thanks for sitting in here.
Yeah.
For Scott, who is in Cincinnati, getting ready for the Bills game.
Yeah. And I wish Scott all the best while he's there. I even hope the Bills win.
Oh, my.
How about that? That's how generous I'm feeling tonight because it's Friday.
Yeah. All right, Robin. I'll see you after.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. As you join us all the time. All right. Let's bring in my guy, Sports Skope, Robert Butler. I'm going to tell you about him. That's one of the best shows. Here he is. Hey, Robert.
Hey, buddy. Good to see you, man. Nice setup, as always.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Love it, brother.
Starting to get it right, the lighting.
Oh, yeah.
Tell Robert.
Yeah, go ahead, Robin. You want to say something? Go ahead.
Can I just tell Robert, I just wanted to tell you that I love your show.
Oh, thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. You and John have been great. And I know you're sincere, too. I greatly appreciate that, folks.
Yeah, no, you're right on point.
Yeah, no, it's a good show. It's a nightly show. You don't get nightly shows like this. I've said this before. It's a great one. We're gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah.
Heck of a sacrifice, but it'll pay off one of these days.
Oh, it's a sacrifice. Oh my God, I know. All right, let's talk about some stuff. I want to ask you, what are the people feeling like down in Nashville after last night? I know, but more about Will Levis. What's the feeling?
The people around town, they really like him. He's slightly better than I thought he was going to be. I had injury concerns about his injury history. Going back, he was injured in Kentucky. He got injured in camp. And, just fear of him being another like a Sam Bradford type of player. But other than that, man, he's made more throws than I thought he could make. Tennessee's got a banged up line as usual. They got a little conservative at the end last night. But I'll tell you what, man, there's a lot of potential there with this guy. I mean, his potential is just maybe the best since Steve McNair. We're going back 15 20 years as far as the Tennessee Titans are concerned. Yeah,
I like him. I like him a lot. He's throwing for a ton of yards. I mean, what do you have, 250 last night? I mean, I was watching him. He was hooking up with Hopkins, and he didn't look like a rookie to me.
No, he got a little greedy there at the end. A lot of the greats do that. A lot of the real talented players. Josh Allen's done that, where he wants to take the big play. Yeah. And Kirk Herbstreit pointed that out. He said, man, you got to drop this ball down to Tajay Spears. You get a first down. Fourth down, he's going for the long ball against Trayvon Burks. Well, Burks got a little banged up there, and they called the card out for him. Hit his head. But that's something he'll learn. He's got to be a little bit more patient. But as far as reading defenses, arm strength, moment's not too big, all that, I think he's checking all those boxes, man.
He is. I agree. They got to be happy with him. The future's bright. And then Pittsburgh real fast, 5-3. Yeah. Oh my God. I just don't find them to be they could easily be 3-5.
Tennessee outgained them in yards. I thought Cleveland outplayed them. I thought the Ravens outplayed them. All those teams had more yards, but they find ways to win. This TJ Watt, man.
Yeah.
I'm starting to believe maybe he is better than his brother. I mean, with his sack record, it's unbelievable. You hear chance of fire, Matt Canada. They still got to figure that offense out. And it's really on Tomlin. They keep going through coordinates. It's on Tomlin. But you know how Pittsburgh is. 3 coaches since 1969. They're not going to fire him unless he, commits an embarrassing act for the organization.
Yeah, and the Bears are doing that left and right. My God. Defensive coordinator, running backs.
Those are Raiders, right?
Well, at least they fired him in Chicago. They give him vote of confidence. I don't know. They do it on purpose. I don't get it. I want to ask you about some games while I got you, though.
Yeah, man.
Huge games this week, right? And the one in Germany, I still can't believe it's in Germany, but I'll get that out of my head. The Dolphins against the Chiefs. What do you see in that one? What a matchup.
Wow. I kind of wish it was at a neutral site here in the States and played at a decent hour. The Dolphins are getting healthy, man. There's a very good chance. They're going to have Terran Armstead back at left tackle. Mm-hmm. They're going to get their center back. And Ramsey played well last week, the cornerback that they acquired. And Xavier Howard's supposed to be back. He's got a groin injury. I know Kansas City's struggling offensively, but we got Patrick Mahomes coming back from the flu. I read he had the flu last Saturday. If you ever get the flu, it's really a 7-day, 7 to 10 days for your 100%. He's not going to back down from any challenge. I'm actually thinking the Dolphins may pull this off. They're going to get some rain. That may favor Kansas City a little bit, but with Vic Fangio having both of those corners that play at a high level, Howard and Ramsey, and perhaps the left tackle back, who they've been playing pretty decent without him. I actually like the Dolphins to get the upset there. People's going to freak out in the national media. Patrick Mahomes has got to find that other player other than Kels to develop chemistry with. and we just don't know who that player is yet.
Yeah, and they didn't, and nothing at the deadline, which you might have thought something for the Chiefs, but nothing. Got another one. There's about 4 or 5 games. This one's going to be good. I think it's going to be good, but I saw what happened to Detroit when they went there. Seattle at Baltimore.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Baltimore's playing at a really high level right now. You've been watching my show. Lamar's won me over, and I tell you what, this offensive coordinator up there, you just wonder if somebody may hire him away after 1 year. Todd Monken, right? So.
Yes.
He's 17-1, guys. Or after you talking to your friend there, folks. Against NFC teams, you've got Seattle traveling east. They picked up another player. I forgot who it was. Is it Jones or somebody?
Leonard Williams.
Williams, yeah. Got one of the Williams sisters. No, I'm kidding. Tackle from the Giants there. Yeah. That being said, it's in Baltimore. Early start time. That's going to help that Baltimore run game that's playing really well. Gus Edwards took a few days off. Had a great game last week on the road to get at Arizona. I like Baltimore to win this and cover. It was 6. Now people's putting money on Seattle, which is even better. It's like 5 now or 4.5. So, I like Baltimore to win that game. Geno Smith against that. They lead the league in sacks, by the way. The Ravens. Oh. So Geno Smith is going to be running around, and he can be a little careless with the ball, even though he's got targets to throw to himself, but still.
Yeah, I know Baltimore really surprised. I didn't expect this from them this year. Lamar never gives me. I don't know. I'm happy for it. Good for. And you're right about the coordinator. There's so many teams that would love to have him help.
Yeah, he's thinking some of the issues, and he was like 1-10 when they were down, when he had to throw. He had a very bad record. And Monken has really worked with it. Now, he's put forth the effort. Obviously, he's the player. And I didn't think he had that kind of moxie and discipline to because he's such a great athlete,
I agree. Yeah, I didn't think he had it. Well, let's see. It's going to be fun to see him in the playoffs because that was where I always.
Different story.
That'll be fun. I look forward to that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with Robert Butler from Sports Skope, nightly show. It's great. We'll talk about that shortly here too. Another big game is at 4:25 Eastern. The Cowboys are at the Eagles. What are you thinking there? We were trying to break it down before you came on, and we were getting. I don't know. I like the Eagles, but what do you like in this one?
That's true. And truth be told, Eagles teams that run the ball steadily have gave Dallas trouble. Their 2 losses. McCaffrey had a good day. Obviously, Connor, I think is his name. Connor from Arizona.
Yeah,
pretty good guy there. They. That being said, they had their offensive line issues. I tell you what, man. If I'm that coaching staff for Philadelphia, I just line up, run the ball, keep that pass rush at a minimum. I just see them. I see Philadelphia winning this. Close, though, like a 24-20 type of game. But it's going to be tight where you're kind of you feel like Dallas will be in it the whole time. Dak Prescott, the Cowboys he's 7-3 out of the last 10. 7 out of 10 there. There's some context, though. I mean, obviously, Hurts was out one of those games last year. Remember, it was Gardner Minshew. So, in Philly, he's healthy. That offensive line's healthy. They run the ball. Dallas will give us some pushback because of, Prescott's confidence. But I still think, Philly wins.
What did you think then about the trade at the deadline with Philly getting
fired?
Yeah, from Tennessee.
I thought that they got a really good deal there. This guy's never missed a game. He's a former Pro Bowler, All-Pro level. Now, he's not played at that level since 17, but he doesn't miss games. Good open field tackler. He's good for run support. Wish Tennessee could have got a little bit more. I was hoping they would have waited till the 11th hour, man, on Halloween, but they didn't. It's water under the bridge. It feels like they got the better end of the deal. Although some people, friend I brought on that covers the team, well, he's with the flagship of the team says that Tennessee got a good deal, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Howie Roseman, man, he's the best in the game right now. That's the general manager for the Eagles, man.
Yeah. Yes, he
We're kind
is.
of like their AAA team. That's what my dad was saying the other day. Gave him A.J. Brown, Byard.
Yeah. Now we got Scott, my co-host, is heading down to Cincinnati to go watch the Bills and Bengals. That's why he's not here with me. I saw that line jumping all around.
It was.
What do you think about this one? A good one for Sunday night, finally.
On the Cincinnati, right, Belichick?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
1.5 favorite there. Last I checked, Cincinnati's a 1.5 favorite at home. Buffalo's got a lot of injuries, man. I mean, your best linebacker's out. Daquan Jones is out at tackle. I know they got Rasheed Douglas there at corner. But Cincinnati, man, I picked them to win last week on the road against 49ers. They played great football there. You could tell that Burrow's actually 100%. I don't believe anybody until I actually see it. So I don't see I think Cincinnati handles this game, but some are saying other words. I'm kind of that point spread. It's like, what are people seeing that I'm not?
Right.
But I think Cincinnati wins that game and easily covers that 1.5.
Do you think for Buffalo, they're in the same boat as Kansas City? Like, you got Diggs, and I know the kid, oh God, I can't remember the tight end's name that they drafted. I know he's had some good games, 8 catches here, 6. They're in the same boat, right? They need somebody else.
Right? Yeah, and Knox is out too, by the way.
Yeah, he's done.
Dawson. Yeah. Dawson Knox out. I can
he needs
feel
more.
that tension.
I think Josh Allen needs he needs somebody to go with it. Because I feel like this. You tell me what you think. The Giants did it, and they lost the game. But they really they did something different. They took their idea, their thought was, we won't let Diggs isn't going to be the one. Or he isn't going to, we're not going to, or if he's going to do, they just concentrated, it felt like, on him. And it seemed like it gave them trouble. Tampa played, think about it, the last 3 games, the Bills haven't played well.
No.
So, Cincinnati, man, that's the spot where Hamlin, what a game this is going to be.
This time last year with the heart attack and then everybody freaking out, myself included, thought the guy may have died or something on the field. That being said, I can't remember the guy's name. His last name is Cosell. He comes on the Colin Cowherd show, works with NFL Films, saying that Allen had a great game. He's made good decisions in that Tampa game, and he's getting rid of the ball quicker than he's ever done so. But that being said, I think this Lou Anarumo guy, he may be the best coordinator in football right now. That Cincinnati coordinator, I mean, he was all over Brock Purdy. You know, and when you've got a healthy Joe Burrow who can, thread the needle, throw that ball in a keyhole, it's going to be a tough out with those injuries to that Buffalo defense. They need a solid running game, and I think it's going to come down on McDermott like we talked about in the offseason. Yeah.
I'm going to ask you about the Monday night game just because Robin and I were talking about it. It's not really that great. It's the Chargers at the Jets. And I feel like the Jets win this game.
Yeah. You know something? I was looking at the injury report. Who have the Chargers really beat this year? The Raiders?
The Bears. Me and you could beat the Bears. Yeah.
I mean, their secondary is just that they got rid of their main corner there. Their free agent traded him back to New England. Samuel's okay. Bad head coach, poor time management. Look at the confidence that Jets team's playing with. I can see that Jets pass rush. Plus, Josh Palmer might not play. So now he's down another target. Williams been out for a while. Now, Herbert's really talented. They could win. They're favored. They're favored to win. But I could think with Breece Hall, this team beat Philadelphia a few weeks ago, and there's a chance they may get Dwayne Brown back at left tackle. It should be Chargers all the way talent-wise.
Yeah.
If you look at the quarterback disparity, but I'm like you, man. I think the Jets find a way to win. That's like maybe 24-21 or something like that. Staley's going to screw this up. I just know it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like they'll find a way to lose. They just aren't going to. The Bears. We were talking. Okay, you played a team that really is. I've never seen a team in Chicago to be such. No one's ever been in disarray like this. Teams have been bad.
Yeah,
but you have it from top. I mean, you're talking the stuff that's gone on with coordinators, the craziness. Yeah, it's insanity. So it's just they beat them fine, 30-13. The guy Badgett. He's from like Shepherd University. So okay.
Yeah.
I do like the guy. Yeah, I like them too, but whatever. They play the Saints this year. I was telling Robin they play the Saints this year, right? This week. Yeah. And the Bears are going to Seattle, to New Orleans. The last time they beat them was 1991, and who had a great game? Tom Waddle. He had an outstanding game. That's the last time they've won in New Orleans. That's a long. And it ain't gonna happen this week either.
Well, at least you've got the Carolinas pick. I mean, I've been talking about on my show this stuff with Jim Harbaugh, 6-year player there, Midwest guy.
He's going,
That could be something because he's so familiar with these college players, being in the college game last 8 years, man.
Well,
that would be interesting.
The last thing on them, because I don't want to get to college with you before I got to let you go. But, the Bears real fast on them because they drive me nuts. Montez Sweat was I still can't believe they did that. They gave up a second-round pick for him, and he openly said, I'm not worried about my contract now. I got to see about my surroundings. I mean, I know what that means. That means this is a circus here. And I'm so he very well, if he doesn't, I think he's got to fire people if he thinks he's going to get free agents or anyone to come there. In my eyes.
True. That's true. And, Poles really missed bad on Claypool. Oh. And, the Steelers got Joey Porter Jr. with that pick. That was a very valuable pick that got thrown away. I mean, I'm like you. Maybe Poles, he's not terrible, but he's had some misses. They got a lot of money. I think they still got the most money next year.
Yeah, they do.
And those 2 top picks. I'm moving off Fields if it's me. If I can get one of these guys, Drake May, maybe even the Washington quarterback, man, and maybe get a Harbaugh. I know Harbaugh runs hot, though. I'm just throwing him as an example. In other words, Harbaugh, he's good for 5 years, and he'll wear his welcome out. That's how he is.
But I think he could straighten them out, though. I think he could at least make them respectable. Like, we're not a clown show. They could at least – and I don't think anyone's going to go there. I really don't believe a player. Why would a quarterback? I wouldn't want to go there. This is a big mess. I mean, Fields has been. I don't know anything about him. I remember from Ohio State how much I liked him, but he's not even close to the guy I saw. I mean, he's shot. His confidence is gone. The whole thing.
Look at the difference between him and Stroud. I mean, Stroud's got all this touch on the ball. He's still missing people by a mile.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, he just maybe he gets another shot somewhere else. But these quarterbacks in this draft, I mean, even Michael Penix, left-handed guy, he looks like a seasoned pro compared to the way he gets rid of the ball quickly like that. And Drake May looks great, man.
I think I like them both over Williams. And maybe I'm nuts. I don't know. There's something. Well, you see,
Lincoln Riley effect,
Yeah, yes. And Williams rubbed me the wrong way a little bit when there was that commentary about pending who pick, I won't go, I'll just stay, all that stuff.
Right.
I think that's a red.
He's that good. He looks good in this system. I don't think he's Andrew Luck, John Elway talented.
Right.
I think that's a lot of Lincoln Riley. I mean, look, Tampa's looking, trust me. Tampa's going to look for they're not going to roll with Baker Mayfield or Kyler Murray. This guy's wanting to get rid of Murray. He don't really want to play Murray, but Murray's saying, "Hey, I'm healthy. Right. So he'll probably play this week against Cleveland."
Yeah. Right now it's Clayton Tune, whoever the hell that from Houston. So
that's probably why Cleveland's such a high, 9.5 point favorite or something like that.
All right, Robert. Let me ask you something about college football, and I don't think this is. It doesn't. People getting fired. Ohio State was ranked 1 in the thing. I was surprised, to be honest with you. But it doesn't really matter, right? Those 4, you can put them any way you want. It's just a matter of, if Ohio State loses to Michigan, there's a chance Ohio State won't be there again.
Right.
Because Alabama beats Georgia. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen.
Right.
What are your thoughts on what you saw in that? And then, of course, I think Washington's sitting at 5, Alabama's sitting at 8. What do you think about what that?
Yeah, I think Bama finds a way. I think the Bama win this weekend. The beat LSU's defense is not. It's a shell of what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama will win at home against LSU this weekend. I'm leaning towards them winning out and beating Georgia per se. Florida State looks legit. They've answered the bell every time, and Ohio State, every time I pick them to lose, they win.
Right.
So I talked to a guy, Al Borges. He watches all the plays of Michigan, and he broke that game down against Michigan and Ohio State last year. And he said Ohio State's biggest mistake, they was just doing cover 0 blitzes, and that's where they gave up those touchdowns. So that may be a much better game than we're expecting coming up that Saturday after Thanksgiving. That's the winner probably moves on, and the loser, may not be in it. Although I said that about Ohio State before, and they got in there last year.
Right, they push. They'll always get the push. I know that. Even being a fan, I know it's I love this game this week. I was telling Robin when I was giving my picks. I think Washington this week really beats up on USC.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? It's in USC, but I can't say. I'm going 48-37, something like that.
That's what I'm thinking. I was reading that they've got 3 potential first-round picks at receiver for Washington.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing that's helping Penix out. And then again, that may be hurting. They're saying, well, they got 3 first-round picks. I don't think it would be a miracle if USC found a way to get that many stops. I just don't see it happening, man. I think Washington will beat them. I'm sure they'll cover that 3. That seems really like, man, do they know something I don't know? Why is it just 3? They don't have the best defense in the world. It's not great, Washington, but it's not as bad as USC's. He was like that at Oklahoma. I've been telling people, just as a lateral move. It looks nice. It's a bigger market, but as far as coaching and getting that program better than Oklahoma was, it was a lateral move, man. And we're starting to see that now with Riley.
Yeah. No, I that line is so low. I thought.
Yeah, you just wonder, do they know something we don't?
Let me give you one of my picks that I love, just so you know. I love Wisconsin this week over Indiana. I really, Indiana does not play offense. They can't. I don't even know if they try. I don't know what the problem. They don't play offense at all. And I think Wisconsin's defense is in the top 20 in the country. Wisconsin's -9. I think they'll win. They win 16-0 or something. But I really
is his coaching starting to make a difference with Wisconsin now?
I think so. I wanted him at Ohio State bad. It's who I really didn't want. Ryan Day. I kind of wanted him, but anyways, that was one I wanted.
He was great at Cincinnati. That's one I may play that one tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
I may take him minus the points, brother.
Yeah, I love Wisconsin. I'm going to take them. Well, let's talk about it. You're going to be on here shortly, right? On Sports Skope. What time?
8 p.m. Eastern. Going to argue with Mad New Yorker.
Okay, good.
Mr. Contrarian on certain things. He loves Tom Thibodeau and he loves Kyle Shanahan. No, he doesn't. He's actually just piles on those 2 people.
Right. Yeah, I watch him. You guys it's a good time. I love when he's on.
Known him over 20 years, went to college with the guy. So we'll be breaking down last night's game, and we'll talk about a lot of games we just went over, those NFL games tonight, and we'll recap last week, man. We have a good time. Always cracking jokes.
Yeah, I love it. I love that show. So that's going to be tonight at 8 o'clock, but it's every night, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you. You had a good one the other day. I saw you had the guy on with the Titans from their radio, right?
Yeah. Rich Ferris. He's worked 10 years with the flagship, and he gets to go to the practices and stuff. He works in promotions there, goes to a lot of the games. Sometimes he goes to the away games, and Yeah, he sees a lot of stuff that I don't. I'm thinking, okay, nice. So
Yeah, that's always good. All right, Robert, I'll let you go. You got to get ready. I know. Thanks for being with us, man. And I'll be watching at 8 Eastern.
I'll see you, man, here in a little while. Have a good show, John. Thanks for having me.
Yep, thank you. Take care, Robert. So that's Robert Butler from Sports Skope, one of the best shows that I've seen as far as a nightly show. My God.
Yeah, he does a great job.
Think about how busy that is to keep doing. Obviously he works what he does, and then you gotta prepare every night.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something all the time, but that's a full hour he does.
Yeah.
Sometimes on his own.
Right.
So great guy, Robert Butler.
He puts an amazing amount of work into it.
And he likes LSU. He likes Alabama, though. You like Alabama, don't you? Probably to beat LSU.
A little bit, yeah.
I was thinking you would. All right. Well, that looks like a wrap for us tonight. Tomorrow, Falls Count Anywhere is back. Our professional wrestling show with Chris DiCarlo and Charlie Turner.
Yes.
At 2:00. Citizens United on Monday will be on at 6. We'll have Noel back with us. And everybody, I hope. And then Tuesday, we'll have Puckett with my guy, Bill Akins. He'll be with us. The Pittsburgh Sports Desk comes on too with him and his guys. That's always good. They're always talking. They talk Pittsburgh sports, but then they talk about the whole NFL.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. I'll be doing something with Jim Behringer soon with Let's Talk Pucks and all that. And that's about it. Got a lot going on. So I guess we should probably call it a day. And then Scott will be back with us next week.
Yes.
And we can hear all about Cincinnati.
Can't wait.
All right, Robin. Thanks for helping me today.
My pleasure.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Enjoy all the football.
Bye, everyone.